What is going on, everybody? Late night stream, 8:30 at night, late night stream. Hope everybody's doing all right. We're doing some call-ins today, answering some questions in the meantime. Hope you guys are doing well. Those are my dogs you hear tapping on the floor behind me. Let me know if you get the notification, by the way. I think he's looking for a spot to sit down, but he can't find one. I don't know what he's doing. Danny, what up? Kiefer, what up? How's it going, my guys? Live got the notification. William, how's it going, man? Daniel, trying to get a job. Trying to get a job as an automation QA engineer. Please, thank you. Well, I'm not an automation QA engineer. Good, bro. Awesome, bro. Let me know if that number works. I have it open if you guys want to join and ask some questions. Dave Ramsey style. What up, Jake? How's it going? I'm doing, like, this is kind of bad, right? Because, like, everyone on the East Coast right now is, like, going to sleep. Found the channel last week. Watched probably everything on here. Recent grad starting the job grind. Frankie Muniz. What up, man? Nick Cartha says, going awesome. Hope you're awesome today. It's going all right. I got some new gear today. I got this bad boy, right? Holy sniper scope, Batman. Look at this lens. The camera is probably like this big, and then like this is a zoom. So it's a 100 to, I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. It's looking for face tracking, but essentially it's a 100 to 400 lens. This thing right here zooms to the moon. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna be getting like some good time-lapse shots of the mountains for my intros. Built-in stabilization, what's the aperture? So aperture, it goes from, yeah, I mean it has stabilization, but it goes from 4 to 6, I think. Yeah. Do I attend most of the Silicon Slopes events? Nope, because I don't know anybody. Got first dev job, thanks to you. Hello from Flagstaff. Dude, you put in the work, Damien. It wasn't me. But if I helped, appreciate that, man. I guess I'll screenshot that and I'll post it on Twitter. Thanks, Damien. That was loud. Yeah, if I go to the Silicon Slopes events, it's all for like corporations and startups and like, you know, we had a great fourth quarter. I'm one guy, okay? So like my fourth quarter is not that much different than the one before that and the one before that. Like, you're still up in Virginia learning JavaScript? Yeah, but it's 10:30, so like people are starting to, like, I'm kind of like shooting myself in the foot because people are gonna like start to go to bed. But I didn't have a video completely edited today, so gotta stay relevant in the algorithm. I'm just kidding. I actually like to help you guys. So the number down there, you can call it. German Cruise says, I love you. I love you too, German Cruise. How can you send the portfolio for me to review? It goes to my email. After completing Cold Steel's web dev course, should you start your portfolio? You should have a portfolio always, and it should improve over time as you go. Just because you haven't seen hackathons for college students doesn't mean there aren't any. Probably just means you're not looking. Are the headphones new? No. They are not new. Look at this GH5 autofocus, so bad. Hi, what time at your place? It's 8:30 p.m. But it feels like 1 a.m. because I'm an old man and I'm going to go to sleep in about an hour. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to make videos tomorrow. Everyone's in Virginia. I'm going to put on some music, kind of relax with you guys a little bit. What kind of music should we put? gonna put like some chill music. Adam Richmond, how's it going, man? How are things? Shoo, what up? Cody Francis. Whoa, that's loud. This is kind of loud. All right, here we go. This is for all you Virginia boys out there. That's funny. Another Virginian. 24/7 hip hop beats to study to? You mean like lo-fi? I can listen to that. This is an alright song. I like this song. I think it's pretty chill. Maybe, I don't know about these vocals. Not a huge fan. Earn, what's Gucci? Dude, we Gucci. We out here. How important is learning SQL for web dev? It's very important. You need to learn SQL. Next song. Steven, what's up, man? Here we go. What do I think of Team Treehouse? What do I think of Team Treehouse? This is what I think of Team Treehouse. I think that they gave me a very soft and well-fitted shirt, and I really like it. It's good. You mean like the software? The software, I mean, it's good. It's like Udemy, but you have, instead of paying per course, you just pay a monthly fee, and you get everything. Granted, some of the courses kind of fall out of date sometimes. Look at this GH5 just freaking out. This is why I don't autofocus. Fish or string cheese. Can't play anything that we all hear on the radio or that we all know, because that's how you get demonetized, my friend. By the way, nobody wants to call in and ask questions, so over here. Burkey, what's up, man? CSS framework or custom work? Work smart, not hard. So always use a library. I don't ever write CSS from scratch. I first thing I do when I have like a client or something I want to make, I type in this thing CodePen, and then I look at that person's CSS and I copy and paste it to my own, and then modify it to make it work, because I don't have time to write stuff from scratch. Like no one's gonna give you a cookie because you wrote the CSS from scratch and I copied and pasted it, but we both have the same result. Like, you don't get any extra bonus points despite what you think. Like, always use that. Time to get the Sony a7 III. Matthew, I can't do that because it doesn't have a flip out. If Sony had a flip out, I would consider it. And I don't want to have to like use my phone like to see if I'm in the shot or not every time. Also, I really like the 180 FPS at 1080. Just kind of like messing with my camera here. Put it over here. React or phone gap? What? Alright, autofocus is going off. I never use autofocus and no one ever knows. That's why it like randomly zooms in like that, because I do manual. See how much more clear this is? Clear and consistent. Oh geez, there's people. Alright. Hold on, pausing music. I can only answer one at a time. We'll put 60 seconds on the clock so that everyone gets a chance. How's it going, man?
It's doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing all right. Thanks for calling in. You were the first one. How can I help?
Nice. So now, my question is this, right? So I've just been hired at a position as a DevOps engineer, but really it's mainly development. And I want to know when I should actually negotiate for a higher salary. At what point? Because I'm happy with what I'm getting now, but I felt as though I should have gotten a little bit more.
Why do you feel that way? Why didn't you negotiate for that when you were in the room?
Well, it's just because at the time I was thinking, I should probably just take this because it's my entry into the industry.
Okay, so I recorded a video earlier today. Usually companies are expecting about a 10% counter in every company, 10%. As long as it's
Okay.
10% or under, that's you negotiate. Doesn't matter if it's your first. I know it probably feels like you just want the job, right, and you care more about having the job than the money, because you want the stamp.
Mm-hmm.
And if they they're not gonna totally rescind their offer. I know this doesn't help you now. I realize that you want to know how to get an offer later, but going forward, like, they're not going to totally rescind their offer because you counter, and they're going to be like, yeah, sorry, we can't do that. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, well, I take the job. Like, that'll be the worst that can happen. When do you do it?
Okay.
Do you have one-on-ones? Do you have like a 360 one-on-one with your mentor?
It's kind of
boss?
like a one-on-one.
And then how does that, like, how often are they?
Well, right now, I've only been working there for the past month, so we've only had that about once.
Do you have like a yearly review? Was that in the paperwork?
It was not in the paperwork.
I would ask for a 6-month review and a 1-year review. I don't think that you're going to
Okay.
be able to ask unless you absolutely like crush it at work for 6 months solid straight, and they don't have to like mentor you or like help you that much, and it's vice versa. You're helping other people. You're like staying late.
Mhm.
Then maybe you could negotiate it. Can I ask what they paid you?
Yeah, so they've paid me 63.
And it's your first job.
Yeah, and I live in Indiana, by the way, so that's pretty good, actually.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in Indiana. Yeah, I would maybe counter to the 65, 66. But I probably would have said, hey, can we do 68? And they'll be like, we could do 65. All right, that's fine. I think
Okay.
if you... okay, so in your situation, I would wait about a year. I would wait about a year to
Okay.
do it, and then I would... Are you keeping a work log? Do you have a list of everything you've been doing?
Yes.
Okay.
And, I have a list of things that I've learned, things that I've already known before I actually got in there, so I keep that pretty well documented.
Okay, what I'm gonna need you to to circle all the high value tickets and all the high value moments that you have. Anything that you think that like, hey, I did this, and this potentially made the company more money because I did this thing. All
So
of those is
more
what you
so
circle.
kind of like proof of like what I've done.
Yeah, the things, the high value, the high ticket items that you've done, not like the medium, like the stuff that you know how to do that didn't really challenge you, and like you just did the work because you already knew how to do the work. That's not going to look very good. Like, you want to go into that negotiation and you want to be like, hey, I crushed some things I didn't really know how to do, and I really upped the value of the company, which makes you look like an asset, right? If you're bringing the company money, you're an asset to the company. If you're just doing what the company tells you to do, you're kind of replaceable.
You're just another worker.
You don't want to be a cog in the machine. You want to be like, if you're going to be a cog in the machine, every employee to a sense is a cog in the machine of someone else's machine, but like, if you're going to be one, try to be one that's like a drive chain or a belt. So when that shit's not there, machine's not working. That's what you want to
It's
be.
a big deal.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good analogy.
Don't just try to be like, like, I can't really think of any parts. It's not like I'm a mechanical engineer, but like, I'm just kidding. That's a bad joke, but I don't know. I'd probably wait like a year.
Okay.
That'd be and I would keep track of the high ticket items that you have, and I wouldn't ask for any more than 10%. Like, a lot of companies are between 7 and 10% when you ask for a raise. If you ask for a yearly review, 7% is going to be on the high end. 10% is in the offer and the counter. When you get your first job offer, 10% is going to be your upper end. When you're doing an annual review, 7% is going to be your upper end, because they're already paying you a lot.
Yeah, and I'm well aware of that too.
Well, I mean, don't let it like make you feel like you don't deserve it. You do deserve it, but just know that most how big is the company?
It's about, I want to say staff, it's about 20, and half of that is developers.
Okay. Yeah, I would say 7% is going to be your best bet. You could try for more, but if you ask for too much, they're going to think that you're unhappy. If you ask for enough, they're going to be like,
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah, they're going to think that you have they're going to think that you have a counter offer that's for way more money than they're giving you, and that you're unhappy, and this is your attempt to get them to give you a bunch more money. So if you ask for
Okay.
a slight raise, it's like, hey, I really like it here. It'd be awesome if I could, how would I say this? I'd be like, I really think I've proved my value, and I would like to start some negotiation about how I could increase my salary slightly. No more than 7%. Like, you could say that, right? And they'll be like, wait, 7%? How does he know?
And I also see in the comments, somebody's asking if I went to a boot camp.
Yeah, I
I
saw that
actually
too.
didn't. I mean, yeah, I actually didn't. It's just I went to school and I'm still actually in school, but it's my last year and I'm not even really sure how I got this.
This is how.
I'm
So
pretty
chat,
lucky.
are you listening to this? This is how you do it right. You go to school and you get a job. You should make them pay your last semester. Well, you probably already paid it, didn't you? But yeah, I mean, you could try.
Yeah, I'll try, but a year I think it's a pretty good wait because, I don't want to push it, if that makes any sense.
Go to him and tell him you want a biannual review, and you want a
Okay.
growth plan. Did you have a growth plan?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so you need to definitely ask him for a growth plan for your career at that company. Be like, hey, what
Okay.
does my growth plan look like at this company? Can I get something written on paper? If I do X, Y, and Z at this company for 1.5 years, I could move into this position and possibly have a shot at doing management or this other senior role. Like, I know it's not that big, but a growth plan is just good for everyone. Like, you know what you're doing, and the
Okay,
company
kinda like
knows what
checks
you're
and
doing.
balances.
What happened?
No, I was going to say a growth plan kind of, sets the boundaries, kind of what's going to happen.
Well, they kind of know. So when you go in there, it's a little bit of reverse psychology. You are like, when you ask for a growth plan, they know you're serious, and you don't have to let them define it, right? But when you say it that way, when you say, hey, give me a growth plan for what you want to do, or for what you want me to do, and then you can just be like, yo, by the way, I kind of want to do this thing. Could you insert that in there somewhere if that's a possibility?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a low-key way for you to like slide in what you want to do at the same time as they give you expectations.
Oh, wow.
I would just try it. Just see what happens.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man. Have a good night. Congratulations on your job, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. It's because of your channel and others like it. Thanks.
Oh, man. You put in the work. I'm just here making videos.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, have a good one. All right. I missed some questions. Yeah, he's going to get a degree, guys. I don't know if you heard his response. Work for a startup, plan to go to university. Started watching the channel. My first inner boot camp video gave me confidence. You're from Hong Kong. First job offer. Nice, bro. Congrats. Yeah, 63K in Indiana is like, I'd probably say closer to 80,000. That was quality, Josh? Sean, I try to be pretty quality. I do a lot of coaching these days. So like, I don't know. Maybe it's just coming out. Okay. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the stream. How can I help you? Thanks for calling in.
Mr. Fluke. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. What's up, dude?
I was calling, I don't really have a job-specific question. I just thought no one was really ringing in. Figured give you something to talk about. My question was your outlook on the Cloudflare CDN name server, minifying, caching services on the perspective of how applicable they are to small projects and all the way to enterprise-sized projects. Just give you something to talk about.
What out of all the things? I mean, my opinions on them. I mean, I guess they're good. I prefer to have my files locally, and I try to avoid CDNs, mainly because you can't control their servers, and number two, you can't edit the files. So, that's my thought. That is my thought, sir.
Fair.
Yeah.
Mr. Fluke,
Battery
you have a lovely
low.
evening. Thank
You
you for
too.
your input.
Thanks, dude. Those were my thoughts. CDNs are bad, don't have control of the server, and you can't edit the files. I don't know. What did Bill Gates call? I don't know. Battery is low. All right, so if you guys want to call in, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, I won't be able to do it. There will be reverb through my speakers. And number 3, that was weird as shit, but I appreciate you calling in. Thanks for answering some questions and giving some questions. Didn't understand anything. That's all right. All right. All right. How's it going? Welcome aboard. How can I help? Can't hear you. Hello.
Hello?
What up? What up, dude? How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Josh? Just wanted to thank you for taking my call. So I'm a big fan. My question to you would be, how do I get out of my slump right now? Like, you always talk about being productive. I need motivation, because I think most of the time I want to code, but then I just feel really lazy.
What you're experiencing right now is loss aversion and pain aversion. So what you see in your head, this is the thing, right? You enjoy being at the top of the mountain in your head more than you enjoy climbing the mountain. So because when you're actually climbing the mountain, it's going to be boring, it's going to be tedious, and you know what you're supposed to be doing, and you don't do it, so you feel unmotivated. And so when you want, I don't know, I don't want to give you motivation, not because I don't care, but it's because it won't last. Motivation is fleeting. So I'll give you an example. I'm kind of in a slump right now. Yesterday morning, my girlfriend broke up with me, and she said that she wanted to be single. And so, I don't know, I was kind of in a slump, right? And I'm here, and I'm not feeling at my highest of highs, but I'm here doing it. And so you don't really need motivation to do the things that you need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's you gotta reverse what you think. You think you need motivation, and then you'll do the action, and then that cycle will rinse and repeat. It's actually the opposite. It's actually you have to do the thing when you don't feel like doing it, and then you feel motivated to do it. Every single time. I know it's backwards. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I don't know if you've ever gone to the gym when you didn't want to, and then that workout was one of the best workouts.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what
I
you're
just
experiencing.
came back from jiu-jitsu myself, so.
I'm sure there's days where you're I don't want to do this, and then you go, and you're wow, that's great. Same thing with code. I know it sucks up front, but what you're experiencing is pain aversion, basically. So I would just say embrace it. That would be my tip.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate everything you do for all of us.
I hope it helps. I'm just seriously, dude, just take the action, and the motivation will come, I promise.
All right, thank you so much. And also shout out to Kiefer Hunter. He did say he needs a purpose-driven project, and I definitely need a purpose-driven project myself, actually. So you still don't know what to look into, but I'll just keep searching.
Okay, will do. Actually, check out the Odin project. You can find some stuff on there.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of Free Code Camp. Yeah, sure thing. Later, dude.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good night. Hello, Josh doesn't help. Add me on. Oh yeah, Kiefer. Yes, I'll post that. Did your girlfriend actually break up with you? Yes. Yes, she did. She said that she wants to be single, but she still wants to be friends and whatever. You guys want to get real sad with me real quick? If I have my dogs in here and I say, "Is your mama home?" They'll go run to the window, and they'll just look. They'll move the curtain out of the way and look to see if her car is here and if she's coming. Let's just get. Oh, it is what it is. All right, who is up next? How's it going, man? How can I help?
Hey, Josh. How's it going?
It's going all right, man. Thanks for calling.
Thanks. So I just graduated from a boot camp in February, and I just needed some tips on getting a job. I kind of feel unready for some reason, and I'm still learning to code on Team Treehouse.
Well, you're not going to feel ready. I don't think anyone feels ready. I don't think college graduates feel ready. I didn't feel ready. I graduated, like, you know how like you're waiting to feel ready, you know, like you're just waiting for like, oh, okay, I guess I feel, yeah, I've checked all the boxes. Like, so when you graduate college, your signal that you're ready to apply is you get your degree. You don't feel ready, but you've been given the signal, cut and dry, like, here you go, time to apply, you're on your own. Like, that's not going to happen when you're doing self-study, because no one's going to stop you and like hand you a paper that says, hey, you've self-studied enough. Like, especially in web dev, because web dev goes on forever. Web dev is just self-study nonstop. Even when you're at the job, the goal is to self-study but get paid for it. That's what a web developer is. I mean, I would just apply. It doesn't take confidence to hit the apply button. You might feel like you're bullshitting the application, and that's okay. You're allowed to feel that way. But that doesn't mean that you don't know, like, that doesn't mean that you don't have worth. Like, give yourself some credit, I guess that's the point of this rant.
Yeah. And do you have any tips for me, you know, because I don't have any kind of like college degree, and in terms of education, the boot camp is the only thing that I've kind of, you know, studied. So what would be like a good approach for me to, you know, take towards getting a job?
I mean, okay, so a degree is kind of overrated. It'll help you in some companies, and then in some companies it won't matter at all. If you want a tip, it's really hard to give you one because it depends on the company and if they care about it that much or not. I am one that is more like, I don't even mention it. I don't think about not having, like, if I didn't have a degree and I've helped people write cover letters, I wouldn't think about it. I would consider it like you've already done this before as a job. And so it's like you just write about as what value you can provide. So typically what happens when you're a college graduate, you say in your cover letter, hey, I'm a college graduate, just graduated, and you're very redundant and you're very insecure in the cover letter, and you're like, I'm looking for my first opportunity to get in the professional field. And then you get your second job and you're just like, yeah, I've done this and this is what I did. That's where you need to be, even though you haven't had that technically.
Okay.
You need to be like, yo, this is the value I got, this is the projects I can do, and I can bring this value to you. So look up the company's values and see what kind of value you can bring. Look up what people at the company are doing, like look for personal blogs and stuff. Go find them, and then read them, and then in your cover letter mention those people specifically by name. We did that in another live stream before. Like, we looked up like a random job, and we found this lady's blog about that same job, and then her email was right there for contact. Like, that's how you stick out like that, I guess.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, I guess.
Sounds good, I guess.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Thanks for calling.
I mean, I'm just really like, because I've worked in family business for a long time, so this like whole thing is really new to me. So I'm just kind of all over the place trying to figure out, you know. But I appreciate your help, though. I guess I'll try to see what I can do.
Just apply. Just apply for 2 jobs, even if you don't feel qualified, even if the requirements side by side aren't qualified. Just click the apply button, and if they say no, send them a message back that says, why did you say no? And they'll say, you don't have enough experience. And then maybe you can reply a second time, and they probably won't answer a second time, but like you could be like, experience in what? And then you'll know. And then you can build your confidence through rejection. I know that sounds kind of counterproductive, but building your confidence through rejection of not getting the job is what you should look at, not rejecting it and then not thinking that you're good enough, I guess.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, man. Have a good night. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. How can I help? Welcome aboard.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Dude, it's going, man. How's your night?
Not too bad. Thanks for taking my call. Just a quick question. So my question is a little bit different. Been working as like a junior mid-level developer for a while, so I'm trying to break into a senior level role. I've been interviewing for a while, you know, like basically just having trouble breaking into that mold of senior level developer. So I was just wondering if you had any pointers, you know, like I have an interview coming up, and just nervous as hell. So just, like if you could give me some pointers of what you think I should focus on.
Value in the company and your ability to mentor lower level devs. Like where, like you should have some like a slight vision for the company, even if it's not the CEO's vision. The fact that you have a vision for the company is huge. Like, because you're moving up to like when they have manager meetings, they're going to bring you in because you're the senior guy. So I would say start forming a vision of what you see the company doing, and start forming a vision of what you see the dev team becoming, and like talk about your willingness to mentor lower level people and help bring them up to your level. And because when you bring those people up, you bring the company up. And that's what seniors do. That's what managers do. You bring everyone up and you help drive. Yes, you do technical stuff on the day-to-day, but I would talk more about like, you're going to need to know technical stuff, but like, I would imagine it's more about your ability to lead in a senior position.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what I imagine. And I mean, most of the interviews that I've done so far, like, when there's talk about like my actual experience, obviously that's stuff that I've actually done. So I don't have any issues, going over that. But sometimes like, basically in terms of like real technical questions, like that's kind of where I falter. So I'm not quite sure like what to focus on, because like some of the interviews that I've done, they focus on like different things. So like you said, on the basically on on the mentoring aspect of it, that's where some of the focus is. But then whereas some of the interviews is more on the technical side, whereas they don't really care about like my previous experience or anything like that. So that's kind of like where I'm sort of having an issue with, because obviously my experience will probably be limited to the projects that I've worked on. But I understand it from their point of view, because it's company, so they're looking at what they want. So yeah, I'm just kind of having a hard time like to figure out what I need to focus on before going in for these interviews.
I would say leadership. I mean,
okay,
leadership is huge. Like if you're a manager, if you're not, you can be a leader and you could be like a junior. But if you want to be like as a senior dev, you and the CTO are going to sit and talk about the pros and cons of the next tech stack. Like, is there anything wrong with your tech stack? Like, is there anything right now that you don't like about your tech stack that you would change? Bring that up and talk about if you would change things in your tech stack, and the things that you swap out, like what's the benefits? What's the pros and the cons? Like, it's about vision, about what you can bring to them, like the value that you can add as a senior. What makes you senior? That you're thinking about these things. Like you're thinking about the tech stack and the technical debt buildup that might happen, and how we're going to scale this application with our current like vendors that we're using, and everyone else that's like mid-level and junior and just starting. They're thinking like, how do I do this ticket? Like you see the difference between like some guy just trying to solve a ticket, and you're trying to solve tickets and make sure that similar tickets don't happen because of a tech stack problem.
All right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, yeah, appreciate the advice, man. Thank you.
Hope it helps. I hope it helps. Thanks for calling, man.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. See it. Nick, what is good?
Hey Josh, thanks for having me. I hope you're wonderful today. Sorry to hear about the girlfriend. So here's my sitch. I am in the last year of college, and my resume is average, below average. Don't have anything much. Looking for like I don't know what I'm looking for. Should I do a boot camp? I know this question's been asked a lot on your channel.
Should you do a boot camp? I mean, have you tried the self-taught route and failed at it, or what?
I've been doing that for like 10 years now. I started with JavaScript. I started in Codecademy, Khan Academy, Team Treehouse, whatever. I've tried it all, and then just at some point, I don't get anything out of it. At the end of it, like I've deployed no project properly. I don't have anything to put on that resume under the project section, and I don't feel employable at the moment.
No one's going to feel employable. I think that a lot of people going into this just don't feel employable, but like doesn't mean you aren't. You do need to get projects up. You got a portfolio, my man. You need a portfolio. You need You need a portfolio with like 3 projects. And when I say 3 projects, I mean you need like prototypes. So like, well, you need mock-ups and prototypes and wireframes. You need interactive versions of those, like on Marvel app. You need like, Sketch, Adobe XD for those wireframes. You need mock-ups. You need a Trello board to track so that you can link a Trello board and you can show that you understand Scrum and Kanban.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff is what you need per project, and then multiply that by 3. That's what you need. And I think it's doable. Should you go to a boot camp? It depends on if you can. Okay, it depends on how consistent you can stay. So stop jumping from like library to library, and you tell yourself like, oh, I want to do mobile dev now. It's like, no, it's just because you got bored with the other one. Like being bored is part of it. Like you have to be bored and just keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely, Josh. I will try that. I'll get a website up first and host all those projects. And there are lots of companies nearby that maybe I could go and ask. Okay, could you take me in for a while? And I don't know. It's going to be a big journey, and it's really inspiring to watch your videos and you help people with all that you're helping them with. And keep doing this. I will definitely join you for more. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for calling. All right.
Thanks for your time.
See you, man.
See you, man. Bye.
All right. Welcome aboard. How can I help?
Hi, Josh. Yeah, so I just had a quick question for you about adding a PS to a cover letter. So what I'm talking about is something along the lines of, if by chance my qualifications are not a perfect fit, I'd love to chat about where my talents might be better utilized, one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my first thought, I just recently started including that in my cover letter. And my first thought is that seems kind of like maybe just an underhanded way at kind of like maybe applying, like someone might use to apply to a job that they may be grossly unqualified for. Like, I feel kind of like if I was the hiring manager and I read that, that might seem kind of like, oh, okay, this person might, already feel like they're not qualified, and maybe there might be an issue with that. And so I'm just kind of wondering, like, how you'd feel about reading something like that.
There's a difference between, there's a couple things to consider. The type of company that you're applying to. If you're applying to a large corporation and you say, I don't feel qualified, they're going to be like, why are you applying? If you apply to a smaller company,
Right.
You're like, I don't feel qualified, but I really want to give it a go. There's a difference between, like, feelings are not facts, but, like, you're passionate about it and you're willing and you're honest. That's the thing. A lot of people appreciate honesty. I've written it a couple times and I'm like, I don't know the stack at all, but I'll learn it because I like tech, not specific stacks. And I've learned it
Right.
in this situation before where I didn't know the stack and I learned it, at this company and then this company and so on and like that. It doesn't matter to me. I don't really, I want to read a personality in a cover because at the end of the day, you have to work with that person. I don't want to work with a robot, like just knocking out tickets left and right. And you're like, hey bro, you want to go grab some, like, you want to go grab a drink, get some coffee or whatever? And they're like, no, tickets, must crush. Like, I don't want to work with that guy.
Right.
Like, you got to be personable. And if the HR lady is just in a bad mood that day, she could decide that she doesn't want to, she doesn't want this. It's really subjective. It's hard to say. So I don't think that it matters too much. I think that it shows you're honest and not confident, because you're accepting that you're not confident by being honest.
Right.
I would go for it. I would do it. I do it in mine. I'm like, hey, I'm not qualified, but I really want this position. Let's talk about it. Like, all you want to do is talk about it. If you get their phone number somehow, you get a Skype call, and they're like, yeah, we don't think you're qualified, and you can be like, well, that doesn't matter. I'm not qualified, but we're still here talking. Why are you still here talking to me? Like, it's not illegal to try and change someone's mind. Like, in any,
Right.
So.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense, because at a certain point, you're in the interview, you've got the interview, and now that's the opportunity to, make your case. And yeah, no, I totally understand that. So thanks again for the help. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Have a good night. Hopefully it did help.
You too.
Thanks.
Absolutely. All right, thanks.
Yeah. What is happening in chat? I'm glancing at chat, but like, all right. Next up, before my headphones die. What's up? How can I help? Hello. All right, they left. All right, next. All right, let's see. How's it going? What up, Sherman?
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. I never expected to actually be able to talk to you. Hi, sir. My name is Abdul. I've been looking at your videos for a while now, and I have a few questions. I'm actually a foreign exchange student studying mechanical engineering. It's my final year.
Mm-hmm.
But after studying, I don't really like the field too much, and that's actually the reason why I resonate with your videos, because you did mechanical engineering as well, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. What made you decide to switch fields, to switch career fields, if you don't mind me asking?
Man, that's a loaded question, but I'll try to summarize all of the rants that I've had. It's a lot of PowerPoints, a lot of Word documents, a lot of meetings, a lot of emails, a lot of meetings that should have been emails, and a lot of bureaucracy.
Oh yes. I completely agree. Because actually, right now, I work as like an AutoCAD technician for like a solar company. So I do like these 3D modeling designs, and it's exactly that. And I'm not a fan of that. I prefer like what you do, like working by myself, with my headphones, not having no one bother me, kind of being my own boss. But when I have to keep answering to people about little things that don't even matter in the long run, it's really annoying. So I see the self-taught route. I've really been watching your videos on the Lambda School, and I've really been considering applying to the school. My only concern is when I looked at the fine print for their I think their income sharing or whatever. I was concerned because the school they did expand to 9 months, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I did see that they are very strict when it comes to the classes and the lectures and not missing classes. Because my life is 50-30. Something's happened. I don't know what my life is gonna be like 9 years from now. I'm kind of moving. I don't know. So I'm afraid that if, like, let's say, 4 or 5 months from now, I need to move, or I need 2-3 days, they only allow 1 day for you to skip lecture, and you have to tell them beforehand.
No, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
No.
But that's what I read on the website.
No, it's not
So
like
is
that. I have a video with the orientation, and you can listen to it if you want. But they're pretty flexible. Like, you just let them know. You're like, hey man, I'm moving. I got a couple days. I need to move. I'll check out the work, but I'm going to miss the lecture and the stand-up today. Okay, fine. Great. We'll see you on Friday. Like, it's not like that. They just want to be sure that you're dedicated, and they don't want you to fall behind.
Okay.
The reason So the other thing, they expanded to 9 months, but they also introduced the career finding, I don't know what they called it, like career building.
Lambda Next.
No, not Lambda Next. It's like a career, it's like you have a career coach now, and now you're working towards finding a job throughout the entire boot camp. So not when you get to the end, you get job services. During the boot camp, during the 9 months, you are now getting job searching assistance. Like, they want you to find a job as soon as possible, and then you can still learn Lambda like after you get the job. And they just put you in a part-time if you do.
Oh, okay. I see. So the thing that I was actually trying to do actually was after I graduate this semester, because I graduate this May. Honestly, I planned on continuing my job, because I've actually I got an engineering job before I got the degree. I actually it's funny that you talk about these things about applying when you think you don't are qualified. That's exactly what I did to get the job that I work now. I saw that I had the skills even though I didn't have the degree, and so I applied anyway, and I got the job. And so now the job allows me to work remotely. So what I was considering doing was to work the job on the weekends, because that's actually what I do now. And then on the weekdays after Lambda school, because I think their schedule is from 8 to 5. I put in a couple hours remotely from home and use that to pay for my expenses. But I did see another school that I did also apply to. Are you familiar with the 42, the school in California?
Yeah, that's I think it's like a free one, and it's like
Yes,
some
yeah.
really rich French guy's philanthropy project. Like I don't know much
Yes,
about it.
yeah,
It's kind of under wraps.
Oh, okay. The reason why I applied to that is because that was actually the free like the legit free, like the no string attached. I actually have one friend with me who wants to do the Lambda school with me. It helps to have people who or who want to do the same things as you, who are as motivated as you, and who are as dedicated as you. Because this field is not easy. When I was doing mechanical engineering and we had to go through the calculus and stuff like that, it was not easy. The only reason why I got through was because my friends and classmates were also chugging along with me. So when I saw 42, I thought maybe that might be something I should do. But my one friend who wanted to do the Lambda school with me, he didn't want to do it because he saw that like they only take the top echelon students and they make you like learn too quick and stuff like that. But if you're telling me that the Lambda school is, they're not like as long as you show your dedication, your persistence, they are not too stingy about things like that, then I may reconsider and go back into Lambda.
I'm not trying to like sell anything. Just for like the chat that's like watching. I'm not trying to like sell anything or shill anything. But like I know.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
The only reason it's more for me personally.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know. It's kind of hard to choose between the two. I thought maybe I'd go to 42 because they do have a month program where you go and just code all day for a month. I thought I'd maybe go there first to see how much I can learn doing that, and then maybe do the Lambda course right after. But my real concern is the reason why I'm motivated actually, besides even just watching your videos, is a friend of mine. He did exactly what you said. He studied self-taught, and he actually just got the job at Citibank, working on the mobile app, making 6 figures straight from the jump. I don't know how he did it. It was crazy. So when I saw that, it's actually possible because when people say that you can do this, you can do that, you hear it and you kind of don't really believe it until you see it. So when I saw that he was able to do that, I saw that these skills are very high in demand and maybe it's worth investing in. But I don't want to take too much of your time, sir. I appreciate the call and I appreciate you answering my questions. If I have any more questions, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, will do. Happy to help. I hope I did.
You did. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
All right. I don't want to shill, but it's not like that. It's not like that. I was going to address his question. I was going to be like, I don't want to shill, but back to your question. It wasn't like, I don't want to shill, but you should all click the link in the description. Like, it wasn't going to be like that. All right. I don't know how much time I have on my headphones. Welcome aboard. How can I help?
Yeah, my name is Jack Macko, and I wanted to get your insight on blockchain development and your thoughts and your opinion on the job market itself.
Blockchain is really, oh man, blockchain's not going anywhere. It depends on the company that you're working for, I guess. Cryptocurrency companies come and go quite a bit. Also, the market's not doing so hot, so jobs are probably not doing so hot, unless it's like some startup that has just recently got more money. What kind of like, you talking like Solidity kind of thing for like the ERC20 tokens on the Ethereum blockchain? Or you want to be like a professional blockchain auditor? Because that has some risks to it. It pays a lot of money, but it has some risks to it. Because if you say, yeah, it's secure, and then some guy's entire wallet gets stolen the next day, like, I don't know if you'd have a job in that industry ever again. Well, okay, so this is what just happened here. The call just cut out, so he's probably trying to talk to me. So that was cool. Let me restart the thing. Then you can call back in a second. Let me change the number at the top. How long have we been here? 49 minutes. Okay. I'm sorry. All right, we got new ID. I'm sorry. We only have like 40 minutes free or something on this Zoom call, unless you want to pay $100 a month. So you can call back, and it should work. Sorry. Oh man, got booted from the call. Everybody got booted from the call because the software closed. Blockchain jobs are actually up quite a lot, even though the value's down. Yeah, I mean, most of them pay in USD, but there's like blockchain's not going anywhere. The technology's going to be around for a while. It's just that everyone is trying to hop on that. All right, that's what she said. How can I help?
Yeah, this is Jack Macko again. Back to,
did you hear my answer? I don't know. I kept talking.
I heard part of it, and like after I voted, subsequently checked the stream, and then it all kind of made sense. So I was alluding to Solidity development, smart contracts, and my logic here going into this, because I'm doing HTML, CSS, JavaScript training, so I thought I could run before I could walk. My logic here is learning to do blockchain development after I learn the prerequisites during the bear market, and then when the market starts to take off, then I'll be set to go. So I wanted to get your opinion on that, and if you have any other insight before I got kicked off.
So there's a lot of jobs in auditing. The thing is that if you mess up an audit and you say that it's secure and it's not, and someone loses a bunch of money, that's not going down very well. Probably it's going to be, you're going to be looked at as the guy who let this wallet get hacked for whatever reason. As far as like Solidity for ERC20 tokens, it's good. It's solid. There's a lot of tokens built off of ERC20, and then there's a lot of other companies building their own blockchain with their own proprietary language, like Archain has this thing called Rolang, which is it's supposed to be like an ERC20 Solidity language, and you can build off their blockchain. And so you got to ask yourself, like, how many other blockchains are going to try to build their own blockchain and then offer that as like a sandbox code syntax for other people to use. So Solidity is probably good for right now. In the future, I'm not sure. Something might do it better than Ethereum. That would be my thought on it.
Got it. Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
How can I help?
Hey, what's going on?
It's going, man. I don't know how much time I had left on my headphones. They're gonna die. It keeps beeping. How can I help?
I just wanted to hear what's your opinions on accepting counteroffers?
Accepting a counteroffer, as to what? Like, if you're
Say
trying to
you're
leave your
legally-
company?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good question. So his question is, what do you think about a counteroffer? And you're leaving a company, and your company's like, wait, no, we want you to stay. Here's more money. I don't know. You can see their true colors. Like, how long were they going to wait to offer you that extra money? Like, what did they really think of you, and why didn't they offer that money to you before? Like, why is it only now that they value you? And that seems kind of like a dick move on their part. And then number two, they realize that you're not happy at that company. And so even if you take the counteroffer, they might low-key resent you and keep you temporarily because you're an asset and you might have some proprietary knowledge that people want. But they're going to realize that you are unhappy in the first place and that you went and found another job behind their back and were considering taking it unless they paid you more money. And so they will know that at some point at that job you were unhappy, and the only reason that you're staying now is a counteroffer.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of my opinion there.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would be, if I accepted that counteroffer, I would be looking out over my shoulder all day, every day, because it's like, are they just keeping me? Like, are they keeping me temporarily? Did they offer me a counteroffer so that I'll stay another 6 months so that they can pull out all the knowledge that I have that I was about to take with me when I left, and then they're gonna cut me? Or do they like really want to improve their ways? Like, what's more likely? Probably that they just want to know what you know, and then, hey, thanks, bye. Yeah, we know you're unhappy here. Appreciate you. You know, like they're gonna offer you a counteroffer for a salary of more money for the year, chances are you won't make it that entire year, so you won't get to see the real benefits of that salary anyhow. You have a couple extra dollars on a few paychecks going forward, and then that'll be it. You'll probably be cut.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's my opinion. Sorry, it wasn't like the most positive, but I just don't want you to get let go later and be like, what the heck, dude?
I've already left.
Oh, okay. I don't know. That's my thought on it. All right, man. How can I help?
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
It's going, man. Thanks for calling.
Hey, yeah, so first of all, thanks for your videos. They're very inspiring. And then I wanted to ask you a question. So this is kind of like a new interest for me, programming. I'm a professional musician. I actually teach in college. And I write I write music for films. But I've always had a passion for programming, and now I'm starting to get into deep learning and music and creating music using the Python algorithms. So my question is, there don't seem to be any jobs that are related to this out there. Pretty much everything is web dev. So what would you recommend for someone like me?
Creating
my interest.
music
I don't,
with Python.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so the question would be, what's the market for that, and what problem are you solving?
Yes, exactly. Because I know from what I've researched, I know that there are sample libraries, for example, virtual instruments that use these kind of algorithms and are starting to incorporate machine learning more. But there are no jobs out there at all for these. I looked at all the companies, and there are no job postings for these.
Maybe not to make music with Python, but machine learning with Python is very huge.
Yeah, that's what, but it just seems like such a broad field, and it feels like my interest is so specialized.
Of course. So
what would you recommend, like, for me, like, to study?
So it depends. You should be familiar with probably some of the more used algorithms, like common machine vision algorithms that they use. Just like common algorithms is what I would study, because I would say startup, because a lot of startups are using machine learning now. I would say you're going to learn the algorithms that the company wants you to learn, but you should just have some like knowledge of like the most used ones is what I would study. Or if you wanted to, just make a business doing your own thing, making music with deep learning, and teach people how to make music with deep learning, make a business with that, sell your knowledge. It hasn't been done before. You haven't found it. Now you can make money doing that.
Yeah, it seems like, because I can find some resources on this, especially like Suraj has a great YouTube channel on machine learning, and he has some music videos he actually posted on fairly recently, but it just seems like that's just one part of what he does, mixed in with all the other, I don't know, like data science stuff that's more applicable to machine learning.
Yeah. I mean, it's not
very...
I was going to say, it's not my specialty, really. I haven't done much with machine learning. It's very deep. Like, we did a live stream once, and we pulled up the math, and everyone left. We went from 80 viewers to 29 viewers, and I was like, okay, never again. So it's not really my specialty, and it's really hard to talk about, except for the people that are really excited about it. So...
Yeah, it seems like it's an interesting. It's not really a new field. I want to call it a new field, but it's just like trendy right now. That's really all it is, because it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I would keep pursuing it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks again a lot for your videos, and keep at it. You're doing great.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man. Have a good one. Take care.
Cool. All right. I'll do like a couple more calls. Actually, I'm going to lock the meeting, so whoever's in here now can stay, and then I'll work through the list, and then that'll be it. How's it going? How can I help?
It's me again. I got one question. I'm so sorry. Just one question.
Sure.
You know, the one person that you talked to with Blender School, that just graduated. Whatever happened to him, if you don't mind me asking?
Patrick, he didn't graduate. He graduates on the 15th. Right now, he's interviewing for jobs. He has quite a few jobs lined up, and he's working through those. But he should have. We should have a video on a job outcome here in the next week and a half or so. But he graduates on the 15th.
Do you know which track did he went to? Did he do the full stack? Did he do the mobile development? I forgot which one.
He's web development.
Oh, the web development. Now, all right, last question, because I know you got other people, and I already talked to you before. How long would it take to transition, let's say, from doing like web development to learning like how to use Android? Because my friend, the one that works at Citibank, he works with the Android. That's how he got hired on, and I would like possibly to work with him. He could give me a reference.
So, moving from web dev to Android, I don't know if I'd want to do that. You can work with mobile stuff and just stick with web. Just do look up progressive web apps. Like those are getting more and more popular because you can just use the same language. Or you can do Android.
Oh yeah, okay. I know about the Android because I know the full stack is more important because I know that especially with the back end, not too many people know about back end because it's not like visual. It's more like conceptual. So I know that the full stack should be a good skill to have. That's actually the reason why I wanted to do it. Do they teach full stack if you like? Let's say you do the Lambda mobile development work. Because that's really where I want to focus on is in mobile development, the app development for Android. But I really want to be full stack as well. So
you can do both. You can do both. Maybe just ask if you could. You can audit the curriculum, so like you can literally show up to Lambda for a day for free, or like a week for free. I think. Just go to like Lambda School/audit or something, and you can actually show up to their classes and see what they're all about and see which one you drive with the most.
Even like right now. Like right now?
Well, I don't know if they're live right now, but yeah, just go look at it and you can sign up and they'll give you an invite and you can go check it out.
Oh, okay. I did not know this.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. That's it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Yep. How can I help?
Hey, I'm looking at just applying to this job recently, and it's a good job of like an intersection between hardware technology and web dev technology, full stack. It's a full stack job, but it's with a company that builds like small robot toys, and it just gets to this idea that I have like, how do you figure out jobs that meet like a crossroads of multiple interests in that way in this industry? I was listening to another person asking questions similarly, like how do you like meet the specific intersection of music and machine learning, and it's interesting. It seems like almost like you're saying you have to almost either find existing really specific community or go into entrepreneurship. But like, what recommendations do you have for that type of process for people, how to find their specific niche in these things, and if they want to maybe specialize or if they want to be generalized in a lot of fields or such?
So I think it comes down to personality. How do you find it? Let me answer that question. I wish I had like, wake up and do this thing and then for 3 days, and if you don't like it, don't do it. It's a harder question to answer than that. What it comes down to is just trying a bunch of things and figuring out what you don't like. It's kind of like a process of elimination, and some people get lucky and they don't have to go through it. So if you have a few things in mind, try one, do it for a while. If you don't like it, swap. I imagine you're still pretty young. I imagine that like I don't like being specialized in one thing. I like doing lots of things, and that's why I get bored at a job, because a job is just do one thing all day and then or do whatever they tell you to do, those few things all day, and you don't get to do it yourself. And it took me a while to realize that, because I just thought I was a really lazy employee, really bad employee, because I just got bored all the time and I wasn't happy. And it took me a while to understand that like I just like doing lots of different things, and no one's going to pay me to do lots of different things, so I have to pay myself. For you, it might be different. If you want to do web dev, you might want to do, just try out a bunch of different stacks. Basically, just you have to try out a bunch of stuff. Just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. I wish it was simpler, and I wish the process was shorter, but that's what everyone goes through.
Yeah, definitely. I think that something is I'm like really ambitious, and web dev alone kind of necessarily challenge me. I've heard in your other videos that you it's like a tool for you. You get interest in what you actually apply it to. And so it's kind of like, I think that being able to find a place where your interests of other things intersect technology is really interesting thing with this space, and going forward for people to be able to find more jobs, because I think a lot more jobs are going to be technical.
I would say don't feel bad for not liking something after putting a good effort into it. But at the same time, here's the thing, chat. I don't know if you're listening, and I didn't get your name. We didn't actually exchange names. Hi, I'm Josh. But
oh, I'm Skylar.
Okay, so don't make the mistake of thinking that this isn't for you, when if you had just kept pushing for another couple hours, you would have figured it out and you would have broke through the wall. Like, so what I struggle with on a day-to-day basis is, am I not good at this thing and I should just stop? Or am I not good at this thing yet and I should keep going because I suck? Like, that's a really fine line I find myself balancing around. But at the end of the day, don't feel bad if you just keep trying and keep banging your head against the wall, and like you're like, okay, that's it. I can't do this. This isn't for me. And then you're guilting yourself because you're like, oh, that's what I thought I wanted to do. I thought I really wanted to do this one thing, and now I don't want to do it anymore. What's wrong with me? Like, I went through that a bunch. But if you find yourself, if it starts creeping back a couple days later, or a week later, a month later, then you could. It's probably like the opposite, right? You probably should have kept going as much as you hated it at that moment. I don't know if that helps you. Does that really help you? I wish I had something more black and white, but yeah.
Well, that answers my question. Thanks for all your videos, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, dude. Thanks for calling. Appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely. Have a good one.
All right. See ya. How can I help? Welcome aboard. Hello. I don't know. Got nothing. How can I help?
Hey, Josh.
What up? How's it going?
Josh, I was wondering if you can have a look at my resume and give me some input. I'm a flow mechanical engineer.
What, like right now?
Yeah, I'll post my website, and if you want to.
Kind of put me on the spot. What if I say no? No, okay, so this is the thing, right? Do you have your phone number and address on there?
No, it's just my email. So I posted my website on kiani.info.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if you can like have a 10-second look at it, and
all right, we'll do 10-second look just for you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I swear, if this is porn, dude, you're banned for life. Okay, so first off, your intro section, really long. I don't want to know anything about your childhood. Nothing. I'm not trying to be like a douche. But you don't need to talk about your childhood or anything like that. I don't know what this picture is. Also underneath it, it's a little bit blurry, very blurry. CV. If I click that, this is not a CV. This is just a list of paragraphs.
Yeah.
Where are your skills?
Yeah. Actually, I was wondering if you can have a look at my resume. My website is horrible. On the first page, there is the resume button.
I clicked it, and it takes me to I guess this is your resume, right? You don't have a list of skills. You don't have a LinkedIn on here. You don't have the companies that you worked at. You don't have the outcomes of the things that you did here. So you have collected, classified, analyzed, and reported sensor data, which resulted in what? Like, what was the benefit of you doing these things? There's no outcomes involved with what you did here. Like, so I can't see the value that you added. Yeah, that's it. That's you need to fix that. So add your skill points, add the outcomes. That'd be it. LinkedIn.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, man. Have a good night. So he did post the link. The link is here. This was the link. That is it. All right, last caller of the evening. Who is our lucky caller today? This is a little drum roll here. Yeah, it's a lot of reading, right? All right. Hello, you are the last caller of the stream. We appreciate you. Papa Bliss. How can I help?
Papa Bless. Hi.
It's H3, I don't know. How's it going, man?
Oh, I'm aware. And I have some relevant questions, but first, if you don't mind, or if it's appropriate, I'd like to ask a quick, like, semi-personal question.
All right.
Like, all I see of you is, like, good, like, grindy videos, which is awesome. And, like, it kind of makes me think, like, you're a robot in some way.
I'm like this.
And you just mentioned, like, a meme regarding H3, and I was going to ask, like, what do you do in your free time to keep yourself, like, sane from all this stuff?
I'm just a regular person like you at the end of the day. Like, I watch a bunch of meme videos. Occasionally I stumble across, like, I watch H3 podcast and all that stuff. I think I have a pretty adult sense of humor at the end of the day. It's just very difficult to showcase on the channel because I don't have enough money to not completely not give a shit, and they do. So it's like...
Yeah, no, I definitely get it. YouTube nowadays, like, AdSense and everything. It's nice to hear that, though, because, like, it's nice to know your personality when you're teaching all this stuff because, like, in a weird way, I do see you as some sort of, like, mentor, which is, like, comforting. So I don't want to waste too much time here talking because I could honestly talk a long time to you. But I guess the relevant questions that I had was, I don't know if you've mentioned before, I'm pretty new to your channel, but in, like, any previous videos, but have you struggled with, like, support in the past? Because for me, at least, my parents don't really support. I mean, like, they're great parents in that they want me to do whatever I would love and that, like, they'll support me in that way. But when it comes down to, like, enjoying what I do, like, I don't see any, like, effort put in there to where they like geek the same way I do because, like, I guess our personalities don't match in that way.
What kind of support do you need? What are you looking for?
I mean, it kind of comes in all aspects of my life because I do other things other than obviously school and, like, pursuing programming and everything. But, like, I struggle with, like, it might just be, like, some what is it? Some therapy I need to go to, but, like, I was just curious to see if you had any life advice about, like struggling with that support. Where I know you asked what kind of support. I guess I don't know because I've never really experienced it.
Nor have I. That's why I'm in the same boat as you. I got married to a girl in Finland. My parents didn't come. Like, I didn't come to, like, the first ceremony. Then we had, like, a big ceremony, like classic wedding. My parents didn't come. I graduated from college in Finland. My parents didn't come. Let's see. Like, I've never really had support. Like, currently right now, I support my parents. So it's like, I'm. You don't need it. You think that you need it, but you don't. Like,
and
it's very.
I've been exposed to some things that say similarly, but I know, like, we're all human, and in the end, like, you're gonna strive and want that feeling of support and everything. I mean, it sucks. I don't know what else, how to, like, sugarcoat it, but I don't know. Sorry.
It's I mean, I absolutely feel the same sometimes, but I have nowhere to go to get it, so I don't really know what to do about it. I mean, I don't know. There's, like, a lot of, like, I'm a very, like, I like stoicism. That's kind of like my outlook. And the main thing is, like, if it's in your control, do what you can. If it's partially in your control, do what you can. If it's not in your control, can't do anything about it. I got a lot of kickback, actually, from my grandparents and my family when I told them I was, like, going to Finland. They didn't want me to go. They didn't support that. They didn't understand why I didn't want to do mechanical engineering, because to them that cushy padded job with security and benefits and a salary, because none of them had ever had a salary. They always worked hourly jobs. And so like for me to get a salary and then not be okay with it was like, how could you not want this? This is like the greatest thing ever. And you got benefits too. And you're like, and I'm just like, yeah, but I'm not happy. And they're like, but how? And it's like, I've always gotten kickback on everything.
I definitely understand what you're saying. And I mean, right now I'm 20 years old. I don't have much with that. I mean, maybe it could change. I know you're about 27.
I'm old. I'm 28.
Okay, 28. Yeah. Where you've experienced more stuff like that, and I want to say that I hope to see a video one day where you settle down and find that happiness that you're wanting in your job, and it looks like you're accomplishing as much as you can at this point, and I like to see that. And I want to compliment you with how like you're handling all these live streams and everything, where you don't like take, I mean, you're unbiased towards all these questions and willing to look at these resumes that like people still need to work on and everything. And I think that's really cool.
I'm just trying to help. I mean, I'm like a regular guy like you, right? I watch H3 podcast. I don't think that I'm like some celebrity or anybody. I grew up in a very modest household. Like, I'm just down to earth guy. If I were to host a meetup, I would be part of the meetup, not the guy at the front with the microphone. You know, like, hey everybody, welcome to Josh Fluke's channel. Like, that's not me. But basically, like, it gets really difficult when you try to do something different and people like criticize you. When I started making Instagram videos, and posting like this motivational talk that I do that everyone's like, wow, great. And then my friends see it, the friends that you grew up with, and you're like, that's not you, Josh. That's not how you talk. We know you. We grew up with you. We know. And you're like, in your head, you're like, yeah, but this is who I want to be. But when you tell them that, they just laugh at you because they're like, well, that's not you, right? You know? And that, like, it doesn't bother you, but because they're your friends and your family, you're more apt to believe them. And you just have to believe in you first. You gotta fly your plane first, sail your ship first, and you can worry about other people. That's it.
I struggle with the same thing when it comes to social media. I like never post or anything because of the same reasons. I don't care too much about it though, as much as like you have this passion for helping people. I mean, I like to help people in my own ways, but I've never like had the experience of doing so, like how you've made your base of platform and everything. So I think that's really cool.
You should see the outtakes that I take on my videos. Like, the chat doesn't see, no one sees, right? Everyone's like, wow, you look so fluent on camera. If I were to show the outtakes and the bloopers, it would get me demonetized so fast because I get so frustrated that I can't talk to this lens. Like, it just looks like a Cyclops eye, and when I look at it to try and talk, I lose my train of thought all the time. But whenever I do a live stream, it's different. And so it's like I'm, you know, because I'm actually talking to people and I'm not sitting in a room by myself just echoing. And so, like, you know, I get really in my head just like other people, and I make a video or I'll look and I'll be like, wow, you're really low energy, Josh. And then like you're worried about what people are going to think, you know, and it takes time. Like, whenever I go film outside, if I go somewhere and I'm like holding the camera on this big tripod, I worry about people looking at me, and then I realize, wait, this is how I make my living. Screw what those people think.
I kind of feel ignorant now knowing this, because like I should have guessed, or like at least assumed that you were doing it because of whatever reasons. But
I do it. I do this YouTube channel and I do these videos because they make me uncomfortable, and I know that I will get, the only way to get better is to do it. Like, I wasn't born like this outgoing person, and I don't even think now I'm this outgoing person. But I have to do it every single day because I'll fall out of it. It builds work ethic, and I get better at it, and that's it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I respect your willingness to like repeat all this stuff, because I know you probably said it so many times.
It's okay.
Like throughout interviews, videos. I mean, some of this stuff I think I've heard you say before in some of your videos.
I guess I'm like a Gary V, right? I just say the same shit in all my videos.
No. I think every time you hear it, more and more people understand, like how you read a book and like you read a paragraph over and over until you understand it.
I don't mind. Like I teach
Yeah.
students and they ask a lot of the same questions, and so sometimes I'll repeat myself in the same way, but then on the fourth time when I repeat myself, it really clicks for me. Like, this is the best way I can explain it, and everyone's like, wow. And so, like, I don't mind answering questions because it helps me get better at explaining. And number two, it's an exercise in patience, to be patient with people. For a lot of the same viewers, they're repeat questions, but the channel grows, and so we have a lot of new viewers, and that's why they get the same question, because channel's growing. And it's not fair for me to be like, hey man, I already answered that question, see you next time. Like, okay, well, he's new, that's not his fault, you know. I try to be understanding.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that has relevance with like your motto in life, where like if you're the smartest person in the room, get out of it.
Yeah.
And I like how much you can relate like your teachings, for the lack of a better phrase, to that motto. I think it has like a conciseness with like who you are. And as a viewer, I really like that, because like if I ever get lost at some point, I can always try and relate it back to that. Yeah.
It's just
sorry?
I just try to stay, it doesn't sound, I don't know. I try to stay humble, or you're going to get knocked off and someone's going to humble you. So I never assume like I know everything. I don't want to know, like I don't want to feel that way. I think it's better that I just feel like I don't really know what I'm doing every day, but I just do things regardless if it works or not. And that's the difference between me and a lot of people, I think, is that people give up when it doesn't work, whereas I just don't know what I'm doing, and I accept that it might not work, but I'm going to try it, and I keep trying. If you look at my videos, like all the color grade is different in every video, and music volume is different in every video. It's like very just, I really don't know what I'm doing, and I just experiment with stuff nonstop. And so I try to just stay a student my whole life.
Yeah. I'm going to try and hold myself to the same standard as I go through mine.
Yeah. Man.
And like I said, I didn't want to take up too much of your time. I still have probably so many questions I could ask you. I'll probably, hopefully, get them answered sometime in the future, maybe during another live stream.
You can message me on Discord if you want.
I've been looking into joining the Discord. Guilty of not. I apologize. I need to as soon as I can, but like with school right now, I'm kind of stressed and everything. It's just like one more thing on my list where it, like, you know, I guess how anxiety goes. I don't know. But I'm gonna try and join it as soon as I can, and I will I'll definitely try and get in contact with you again to answer the questions. And on I guess the last note for this call, shout out to the headphones for not dying.
Yeah, seriously, they're the real MVP of the phone call. It said battery low like 6 hours ago. Still hasn't died. Thanks, Corsair. Appreciate you.
Yeah, for real. All right, I appreciate this talk. It was really good for me, I think.
Yeah, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said to start it off, Papa Bless.
Papa Bless. Papa Bless. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah, bye.
See ya. All right, that's it. That was the last phone call of the night. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Sorry if I missed your questions. To the 16-year-old that kept posting, can you get a job as a 16-year-old? Yes, you can. Don't let me tell you what's possible. Don't let anyone else tell you what's possible. Did I miss any major things here? I don't think I missed too many questions, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoy the stream. I enjoyed doing it. Been here for about an hour and a half, and I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a live stream where I research jobs for you, or you give me a location and we find jobs for you. I'm not sure what we'll do. I don't know. Yeah, you're the 16-year-old. Yeah, saw it. Okay, I got you. Thanks for the videos. Wing, thank you. Icebite, thanks. Yadia, everyone else who's here. Meme review. Maybe you can help me find a job. Yo, dude, maybe we should do a motivational stream, how to get motivated, so that tomorrow when everyone's unmotivated, they'll come back to another motivational stream, because it's fleeting. Answer my question. A hammer and a nail cost $1.10. The hammer costs $1 more than the nail. How much does the nail cost? $1. I don't know. Don't make me do math at 9:20, 9:50. I can't even read clocks. How you expect me to do that? All right, I'm out, guys. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's video is a guy who went from $19 an hour to $70,000 a year, and just because he asked his boss for it. So that's a good video. That's where I got my 10% salary thing from. Anyways, have a good night. See you tomorrow.